Hello, it's the girl with blue eyeshadow, also known as Liz. Welcome back to the channel. So for today's video, I had the idea of makeup that I talked myself out of, yay, and then makeup I didn't talk myself out of, that I now have, and whether I am happy about that choice or not happy about that choice. So if that sounds interesting to you, keep on watching. So this video was kind of inspired by Samantha Marks. She has like a similar video of like stuff she's glad she didn't buy but got in PR. This is a little different because I don't get PR. So this is stuff I was just able to talk myself out of. And it was originally just going to be that video, but I thought that'd be kind of boring and kind of like, I talked myself out of it, but you didn't. And I wanted to show you that I am not always a great consumer, and stuff I ended up getting, and I'm like a little either iffy about it, or I'm like, it actually worked out in my favor. So that's the premise of this video. So first we're gonna do stuff that I talked myself out of. I have my little list here. The first thing I talked myself out of, and it's kind of like two items, is the ABH Soft Glam palette. This palette looks beautiful to me. I feel like it looks so nice. And it just has, I'll try to post like a picture of it somewhere here, but it just looks so like beautiful and very nice neutrals, and I feel like I could use it. Two reasons, that, and then they came out with the Soft Glam Mini, which I was like, oh, I could probably use the Mini. The problem was, I thought the Mini would go on sale because it was like a holiday release. It never went on sale. So I can't like justify it in my head. And I ended up talking myself out of it with the, the Nabla Side by Side. Side to Side, Side by Side. I always get it confused with the Ariana Grande song. I'll put it here. And I just think that this palette is pretty similar. I think I've seen swatch comparisons to this with Sultry and Soft Glam, and they're very similar. So once I saw those swatches, I'm like, I can't really justify getting this palette. Even if it went on sale, it's gone on sale at like one time, but it wasn't even that great of a sale, and I'm just like, I couldn't do it. And I just need to admit to myself that I like neutrals, but I don't really need that one. I think I have enough neutrals in my collection to be happy. So no to Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam, even though she's pretty. Now if the Mini went on a Mini out, no. I must talk myself out of it. Okay, I have two, I'm going to include three, actually, blue palettes. So the first one is this the BH Cosmetics, the ice cream palette, the one in blue. I don't know what the blue one's called. I'll like post a picture over here. I think I have this still saved on my phone, and it looks so nice. I like the shimmers, they look pretty. I like the mattes in it. But how I kind of talked myself out of that one and most blue palettes, I'll put another one in, is that I have my two like all blue palettes. This is not all blue, I guess it has that kind of like, what's that called, a lime color and a silvery kind of color. I have this one by Huda Beauty, and then I have this one by ColourPop. So, and then when I looked at it, I realized I don't like it when I don't like 6 pans, and I don't think I like 8 pans. Now that I think about it, I don't like it when it's like 10 pans, 14 pans, they're all fine. 9 pans, I love. Quints, I love. Quads, I love. Trios, duos, all I like. But something about it being in an 8 pan also kind of like, I'm just not into it. And I think I had like all the colors in that as well. Another blue palette is the ColourPop, I think it's called the Cloud palette. It's like a more pastel-y version of the Blue Moon. And I remember Kelly Gooch is the one that talked me out of it. I think she was like, if you have Blue Moon, you don't need this. And that's kind of what I needed. And it was on sale recently, and I looked at it and I'm like, ooh, looks nice. But like I have the colors I want, and I feel like that's going to be like a very chalky formula, just because I've had the Aura and Out palette in the purpley color, and that was like a very chalky formula I didn't personally like. So I was able to talk myself out of that one. Another one I'll also mention is the Ace Beauty palette. I think it's the Oceanic palette. It's also a blue palette, and it has blues and greens. And I was able to talk myself out of this one for multiple reasons. The first one being, I have, again, like I said before, these two blues, all blue palettes, and I feel like I'm set. Like I shouldn't ever really need another blue palette. And so I was able to talk myself that way. It has greens, and the greens that were in the palette are very pretty, but I don't think I necessarily wear those types of greens. I tend to go through to a more like punkier, grungier kind of green than those kind of sea looking, not foresty, but you know, those types of blue greens. That, and then the Ace Beauté formula, I've heard it's just not that great. Like I've heard a lot of, it's mostly missed when I hear about the reviews. Like most people don't like the formula. So that's how I kind of talked myself out of that one. That's how I try to talk myself out of most blue palettes, is that I have these blue palettes, and are they gonna really make the biggest change? Now, if there are different blue like formulas in it, that tempts me a little bit more. So like if there's a blue and there's like two blues in the palette, I get a little interested, but no, usually I can talk myself out of it. What else do we have? The last one I'll mention is the Kaleidos Flower Punk palette. This palette is so beautiful. If I can post it, I will, because it's just so, when this came out, I was like, I want it. Give it to me. I need it. I love it. But I was able to talk myself out of it because I was like, do I really need another palette? I think I was also like in between that one or the Temptalia palette. And I wanted to go with the Temptalia one because I was going to get more, I felt like, variety for a cheaper cost. Because I think that with shipping, that one ends up being like the Flower Punk one ends up being like $40, while the Temptalia collab ended up being like $30-something. So I ended up going with that one. And again, it is so beautiful, but I was able to talk myself out of it, and I'll try to like, here, I'll like, if I can reach for it, I'll try to like show you. So this is the Cutting Edge palette, which I feel like has that kind of grungier green side. I feel like the ones in the Kaleidos palette are a little bit more vibrant in green, then this is more of like a pukier, more muted neutral green. And if I can get to this one, which might be something bell, I have the Muerte palette, which has those kind of minty colors. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't love this formula, but I can get that matte to work if I wanted to. And this one is nice, but I do, when looking at that Flower Punk collection, I'm like, those shimmers look gorgeous, like so pretty. I also had recently bought the Angelica palette, and so I knew how good the formula was. But since I just bought the Angelica palette, I decided just not to get the Flower Punk palette. This is one that's kind of at the end because I'm like, maybe I might actually pick it up. I think I can talk myself out of it. It's those shimmers that look really nice in that palette. It got kind of mixed reviews, I feel like, when it came out. Like, some people really love it, some people are just like, about it. So that's how I was able to like be like, nah, I don't want this. But that one's a hard one, I'm not gonna lie. That one I'm still like, maybe I should pick up. But I think I can hold off on that one, and I'm proud I was able to like talk myself out of it. Next up, so we're gonna do makeup I did end up getting. Okay, makeup that I ended up getting. So this is makeup that I did not successfully talk myself out of. I ended up picking it up. The first one is like probably like the oldest one I think in my collection. And this one's kind of a regret-ish kind of, saying regret just sounds like so bad, like, but it's the Peaches and Cream, now what is this called? Just Peachy Mattes by Too Faced palette. I heard this is like the best formula Too Faced has come out with. It has the beautiful packaging. I just think this is stunning. And this has gone on sale, had gone on sale multiple times. I remember it went on sale while I was in college. I was like, should I get it? And I decided not to. And then it went on a sale during the holiday season, and I think this Just Peachy collection is going to be gone soon. Like, I think they're getting rid of everything. So I decided to pick it up, I think, during like Black Friday or something. And it is really pretty. I just feel like I have a lot of these like pinky cranberry colors in my collection, so I didn't really need this. And I think the formula for this is just okay. I don't think it's that extraordinary. It can get a little hard to work with sometimes. So I'm just kind of iffy about it. And again, it might be one of those palettes that once I play with it more, I'll like end up loving it and finding some use to it. But I'm just like, I'm glad I got you on sale. That kind of deal. Sales are my downfall, as you're gonna see here coming up. So yeah, that's the Too Faced Just Peachy. If this is something, see, this is the thing. I'm not 100% against guiding this because it's gonna go out of, like, it's going out of stock probably. So I got this before it's, like, I got to try it. I got to try it before it went out of stock. So at least I got to try it even because I was so interested in it. But yeah, it just didn't live up to the expectations. Another palette that also, I'm trying to think which one. Another palette that just didn't do it for me, and it's kind of in the same boat as Too Faced, where maybe it will end up like, I'll end up loving it, is this, oh hold on, Smoky Soiree by Dose of Colors. It's this kind of smokier palette. This was on sale on Ulta, and so that's why I ended up picking it up. I think I got it for like $16. I don't know if that includes shipping. I can't remember if I got it with other stuff. And I do think this is very pretty, and I like it. I just don't think the formula is as easy to work with as the Cutting Edge palette. And I was kind of hoping this would be more cool tone. So like, as you can see right now, I have like a gray, smoky, silvery look going on, and I kind of thought these colors would be more silvery. And they're like fine, like they're not bad, but they're just not what I was kind of looking for, even though I looked at like swatches. I looked at everything, guys. I just thought this would be, I just expected more out of it. And it might be one of these palettes that I just have to play with it some more, and I'll end up loving it. Like, I love the little matte packaging to it, but it's just like a little like, maybe I should have not got it. But maybe I'll end up loving it. You never know. I always like giving things an extra, if I bought it, I'm giving it an extra chance. Okay, so the last one in this kind of like, it's kind of disappointing me, and I feel kind of bad mentioning it, is the Genesis palette by Drench Cosmetics and Midas Cosmetics. Is it Drench Cosmetics? Yes. This is beautiful packaging. I love the gold. I love the matte. I love the drawings on it. And I just find that and I got this on sale, again, another sale, but the inside is nice. I do really like it. The thing is that I think the reason I don't love this palette is I feel like this blue in the middle right here catfished me, because it just doesn't give what I want it to give. It's not like I feel like this swatched so much nicer in their swatches, on everyone else's swatches. I feel like I just kind of got a dud. I don't know if you can tell, but this just is not, it's not the blue I tend to look for. And so I just find it kind of disappointing. I do like the turquoisey colors in here, and I am able to make a look, but I feel like I'm able to dupe this palette in my own collection. Like, I just don't think, it kind of reminds me of the Jackie Aina. The top reminds me a little bit of the Jackie Aina palette. I don't know if you get that vibe. And I do think it is pretty, but I'm just like, that blue just disappointed me. Maybe I need to scratch at it to get rid of that like wet pan. I don't know how I got, it looks like I got hard pan, wet pan. I don't remember what's the difference, but I didn't use any like anything wet, like no wet brush, nothing. So maybe if I scratch at it, it'll get better, but I was just like, oh, I maybe could have like not picked this up. I did get it on sale, so yeah, it's not like a total regret. I didn't pay full price, and I did want to try, like, see if Drench Cosmetics, what they kind of would come up with. This is very similar to Drench, like the vibe of Drench Cosmetics, because I feel like they don't stick to like seasons, and they kind of just put out what they kind of are feeling. So I kind of like, I'm just like, boom, boom, boom. Maybe I'll grow to love it. I always give things a second chance, but I'm just like, should have talked myself out of it. Okay, these are palettes kind of in the same vein. I try to talk myself out of it, but then I didn't, and then I ended up getting it. So the first one is this Earth and Decay Honey palette. Try to talk myself out of this, and I think what talked me into getting this palette is Teresa is Dead did a review on this, and she talked about how this is the best formula. The reason I wasn't gonna get this is because I think I've had this, one of the other formulas, and I ended up just kind of giving it to my mom because I think she would enjoy the color story more than I was enjoying it. And I got this, and this is just a nice palette. I really like it. Like, I don't regret getting this one. It's very cute. So I'm kind of glad I talked myself into this one. This was the one I was like, I don't need it. And then there was a sale. Again, sales are my downfall. And I ended up picking this up. And I'm not mad about it. I'm actually quite happy. There's two like recent ones that I was talking myself out of, but then I ended up picking it up. The first one is this Powerpuff Girl collab. I tried talking myself out of this, guys. And I kind of thought it was going to be one of those deals where it was going to go out of stock, so I was like, do I wait for the collection to launch? Do I wait later? Do I stay in line? And so I ended up picking this up the day it launched. This is it. And with the reason, there's a lot of reasons why I wasn't gonna pick this up. One, I was like, I feel like I have these in my collection. I don't love the ColourPop formula. There's pressed glitters. And then I talked myself out of this. I was like, I'll just get a blush and the lip glosses. Looking back now, I should have just not got the lip glosses. But I talked myself into it. And I'm not that mad about it. At first I was, because the ColourPop formula is just like a little, I gotta work with it a little bit more. But once I did, I loved all the looks that came out with this. So yeah, I'm happy I didn't talk myself fully out of this, because this is quite nice. I would maybe wait for a sale if you can, because I think this is a little pricey for ColourPop. I think it's $22. So if you want to wait for a sale, I totally understand. This next product, there's a story with it. And again, I feel kind of weird putting this in, but it's kind of the reason why I did this video. And it is the Natasha Denona Xenon palette. It's what I currently have on my eyes right now. I saw when this leaked, and I was like obsessed. I was like, I need this palette. I need this palette. And I kind of had it in my head that I was going to buy this palette once it came out. I think this leaked like last year or something. And when I saw it was coming out, I'm like, oh, I'm going to get it. And so I was watching reviews, and everyone was kind of saying, it's all right, it's okay. There weren't a lot of reviews that came out at first, so I was like, And a lot of them were like, I don't think you really need this palette. And someone was like, this is where I am the fool. I think it was Morgan Turner that was like, you can just get, if you have the Smoke Show palette, you'll be fine with that. You don't need this. And I was like, true, okay. So let me tell you what I did. ColourPop was having a sale, right? Okay, it was on those quads. Were only $6. So I was like, let me pick up a quad, and let me pick up another palette. It was gonna be its taupe palette. Why I didn't pick up its taupe? No, I know why. Because I looked up a review by Temptalia. She gave it a B- or something, and I was like, okay, well maybe I don't want that one. And I'm like, well maybe I will crush my desire for the Natasha Denona by picking up the Blowing Smoke palette. That was like $10. And then I did it. I got those two. And I was like, okay. Because I was trying to be practical. I'm like, this is like price-wise. The other one's more practical. It's bigger. La-di-di, la-di-da. And then Angelica Nyquist did a video on this palette. She's like, I really like this palette. One of the reasons I like it is because it's so small. Like, I don't need a 9-pan palette filled with all those ColourPop shades when I know I like this formula better. And I don't need like a big palette. I really only need this small palette. And I'm like, damn, that's the reason I wanted this palette. Because it was so small. Because it was a different formula. Like, it wasn't going to be the ColourPop formula. And I was like, I am dumb. Then there was a tornado. And I was like, let me just get it. So, the other one's in the mail. Blowing Smoke is in the mail. And I have this one. Cue the clown music. I know. I pretty much am going to have two of the same palette. I'll probably give Smoke, see, and then this is the other thing. I was like, well, watch I don't even like this palette. Watch I'm just like, eh. And end up like I could always return this one because I got it off Sephora. And I can't return the ColourPop one because it's from ColourPop. ColourPop doesn't do returns. I really like it. It's what I have on my iris right now. I love it. I found it very easy to work with. It's cute. Clown music, cue it now. I know. So I'm probably just gonna get rid of the Smoke Show when it comes in. Y'all can roast me all you want. I think I could probably give it and like looking back on it now, it's only $10. But this taught me a valuable lesson. I wanted this for months. I wanted it. I liked it. Everything about this palette I wanted. But I talked myself out of it to get the cheaper alternative. And sometimes it's just better to just get the one you wanted, which was this, because it's so small. This is very small. If you're someone who wants something bigger, this is not very big. I should have just got this and not the other one. A valuable lesson. Because I feel like sometimes I do this where I'll get like, I'll be like, oh, this is a dupe for something higher end. And I'll get that dupe. And I'll be like, maybe I need a little of this. And then I spend enough money in the dupe that would have been equal to the price of me just buying the product I wanted. And that's what I guess kind of happened here. So don't be me and don't do that. Yeah.
Let me borrow your filer.
Your pants are
Huh? Oh my god, I went out like this? Huh? Did I go out like this?
It's filming right now.
Huh? Oh my god. Can't think what the hell's
Can you leave? I'm trying to film.
Oh.
Take the dog with you. Go, go. With her.
Come on, George. Come on.
Pet your lap. Lap. Pet your lap.
What?
Pat your lap to get him to go.
Come here, buddy. Come on. Come on. Let's go. This is handwriting.
Okay, close the door and then try to open it again. Oh, there we go, there we go, there we go.
Good boy.
Thank you. Alright, that is the end of the video. Let me know stuff that you talked yourself out of, what stuff you didn't talk yourself out of. It's a safe space here. Okay, let's all just discuss. This was all, I realized, very like palette heavy, like these were all palettes. So let me know if this is interesting enough that you would want me to do like foundations, blushes, bronzers, stuff like that, other makeup products, because I feel like I have a long list of those too. So again, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye!